Heyo Friendos, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I will be swatching all 9 of my Pat McGrath Mothership palettes. If you are with it, then just stay tuned. So you guys know we can't just get to it just like that. I have some things to say and I'll have much more to say at the end. I don't want to dilly-dally too long before we get into swatching, but I just want to let you guys know that I will be talking more at the end and giving my opinions on these palettes. One speculation that I hear a lot from people who have never tried or swatched a Pat McGrath palette is, why on earth would someone spend $128 for these Mothership palettes? Are you crazy? And to that I always say, darling, we prefer the term eccentric. So enough of my weirdness. I've got some great lo-fi tracks picked out for you guys to chill out to while we go through these swatches. And at the very end, I will have facts and opinions just for you guys. Stay tuned. So friendos, what did you think of those swatches? Some of them are fabulously gorgeous when you swatch them, and some of them are just meh. So the main reason why people buy this, in my opinion, is for the luxury experience. What you'll get is a very heavy compact enclosing 10 very specially and thoughtfully curated eyeshadows that make them all feel very unique. Each one is its own vibe, even when we do have the repeat shades of the mattes and the skin show nudes. So yeah, that's some of the things that I wanted to discuss. Most of them are going to have either a black or a dark brown. And then all these skin show nudes, essentially what I have in the corner of my eye today, those all tend to look around the same, even when they have different titles. So just beware of that. Also, the formulation and the performance of some of the shades can vary drastically between the palettes. So for example, I believe there's a bronze, it's called Bronze 005 or Bronze 006, and it has a mimic shade in another palette, and one performs really, really well and the other one is sort of chunky. If you do want to hear more about that, I mentioned that in my Pat McGrath ranking video. Now, I don't have every single palette in that video because she's come out with more palettes since, and I've added to my collection post making that video, so I will make another one soon, but just so you can get the overall gist, that's a good video to check out. Also, the matte shades in Pat McGrath. Her earlier versions of her first, I would say 6 palettes, don't have very creamy mattes. They're very dry. It's harder to pick up on your brush than, say, a Natasha Denona. However, they're still on the better end of the mattes that I have in my collections, even though they don't swatch very well and they don't pick up very quickly on your brush. They're very pigmented, and for the most part, they are not hard to blend out. And of course, there's little exceptions here and there, but you guys will see a more in-depth review of that in my ranking video. What we are now seeing in her latest palettes are creamier mattes, but I feel like it's at the expense of the Blitz Astral shades being more chunky and more glitter, and the glitters tend to fall out more, which is another reason why I think she's introduced more adherent products into her line. I think it's to combat the fact that they're not as well made as what they were before. I know. Also, just as a little disclaimer, if you are planning on paying the high price tag of $128 for one of these palettes, and I'm not suggesting that you do, but let's say you just want one and you are willing to pay that money, I highly suggest you go through Sephora over Pat McGrath Labs. I've had positive experiences with dealing with Pat McGrath Labs, and I have had negative ones. I always like to give a little disclaimer whenever I do a dedicated video to Pat McGrath Labs, because I thought that they were getting better on the customer service end, but recently my sister had a very bad experience with them. I'm not going to get into it in this video, but I'll just say I think that you're better off going with Sephora than buying from Pat McGrath Labs. Again, just an opinion. And friendos, if you're wondering, are you wearing Pat McGrath today? Why, yes, I am. I'm wearing Divine Rose 2 on my eyes, and then on my lips, I have ColourPop Hoopty Lip Liner and from Merit, their Marrakesh Lip Oil. I'm also wearing the Soft Sculpt Bronzer from Makeup by Mario. And now is the funnest part for me. Friendos, I want to hear from you guys. I want to know, one, what do you think of these swatches? Would this persuade you to buy from Pat McGrath Labs if you've never bought one before? Or would this make you take pause and say, you know, I think I have some similar things already in my collection. I don't really need the experience of the extravagant artwork, the dark black heavy packaging. All of that still wouldn't be worth it to me to have to pay that huge price tag. And if that's how you feel, friendo, that's understandably so. Just being real with you guys, if I didn't make videos for YouTube based on makeup and try to get them up as fast as I could, I don't think I would ever pay $128 for one of her palettes, especially now when they go on sale so frequently. Also, let me know what you think of the music I picked out today. You're not gonna hurt my feelings if you didn't like it. I try to find things that I think the majority of people will like. So for example, you didn't enjoy it, let me know and I can kind of start playing around with the music in my videos, because majority of the time I'm the one to pick the video music. Like, that's my responsibility in the editing department. Also, do you own any Pat McGrath Labs palettes yourselves? Do you own them all? Let me know. Again, I love reading your comments and talking to you guys in the comment section down below. Thank you all so much for tuning in today. Thank you so much for your likes, comments, and all your love. I definitely appreciate it. I wish you all a phenomenal rest of your day. Please subscribe if you have not done so already, because if not, we'll both have to live in the sorrow of never knowing what could have been. All right, guys, have a good one. Bye.